FinerWorks offers the ability to frame your prints within post. You will find almost any frame style you might be looking for, and for any setting. These are also the same moldings used by frame shops around the US. In addition to offering these at below frame shop prices, we also have them at different price levels depending on the molding materials and size. They include less expensive or budget-friendly options, as well as more ornate hardwood choices. And it is not just the picture frames. We also offer picture mats and acrylic glass, or glazing, as we call it in the framing industry. Both are digitally cut to precision. At FinerWorks' main production facility and headquarters, after the print is completed, it is turned over to our experienced framers, where the frame is cut, assembled with the print. Afterwards, it is carefully packaged and shipped to you, or even your customer if you happen to be using our order fulfillment service. So, let's see how easy it can be to frame your work in post. We will start by going to post and adding an image file that I want to print and frame. After I select my uploaded file, it is time to create the print. In this case, it will be a fine art print on the premium G clay. Let's add an extra 1-inch border. I am choosing 24 by 16 inches as the size. Now that I have created the print, let's see what we have in the way of framing available to us. The framing section is found by scrolling down further. There you will find several tabs depending on the type of print. The first tab is for frames, the second tab will be for the matting section, and the third will be the glass, which is the acrylic glazing. It is important to note that not all frame styles will work with all types of prints. For instance, if your print is a stretched and mounted canvas, you might be limited to frame styles that support those types of canvas prints and the depth of that canvas print. Fortunately, Post makes it easy by filtering out framing styles that are not supported by the style you choose. Before we proceed further and choose our frame, I want to show how we can just order a matted print without a frame. It's a common request, and it's quite easy to do. Just go to the Matting tab. Select the mat you want. And done. Your print appears instantly matted. Now, there are a few things here I want to show you. While instantly adding a mat is easy, you likely want to adjust for an intended frame size. It might be for a frame you already have. This is where these two drop-downs allow you to enter your frame's width and height. Let's assume you have a frame in mind already that is 30 by 22 inches. In that case, you will want to enter your frame size here. What this will do is make the outer mat size 30 by 22 inches without affecting the window size. Now it will fit in your frame perfectly. Since we are on the subject of matting, I should point out a couple of things relating to the size of the mat window. First, remember that we added a 1-inch border to the print for your 24 by 16 inch print. Now, notice that the border is taken into consideration with the window size. This means the window size will actually be the size of the entire sheet of the print, including the outer border. So this means your window size is actually 26 by 18 inches. This is because when you add a 1-inch border to the outer part of the print, it increases the overall dimensions of the final, cut sheet by 2 inches. If having the border exposed is a problem for you, then we recommend choosing a borderless print. If I had done so, then the window size would be 24 by 16 inches instead. The second is the mat window. In picture framing, the mat window will usually be 1/8 or even 1/4 of an inch smaller. People just buying mats will sometimes inquire about this. It's a good question. The reason for this is to prevent the prints from falling through the opening and provide some allowance when securing a print to the back of the mat. At FinerWorks, we follow this standard and typically keep it at 1/8 of an inch to minimize the amount of artwork that could be covered by the mat. Now, let's start over by deselecting the mat. Once again, we just have the print by itself. I want to do this so I can now show you how to create a full framing package. To start, I will select the Frame tab. The initial view you get here is the different collections of frames. As you can see, there can be quite a few to choose from. How about something in the middle of the road when it comes to both budget and quality? The Gallery Contemporary Collection is a good choice for that. With its basic modern style, the frames are good for almost any environment and work with almost any type of artwork or photo. If I need to go back, I can click the Collections link here. Also, note some of the information below each frame style. First, the name of the frame molding style. Also, the price level, which is related to the quality of the frame and calculated based on a frame size of 8 by 10 inches. Generally, the higher the initial price level, the higher the item's quality. Of course, the final price is based on the size of your frame, any matting, or whether any acrylic glass is included. Last here are the size limits. We place these limits based on the width of the molding and the hardness of the wood. You don't want a frame molding that is too thin to support the weight of glass and the rest of the contents. Otherwise, it can become bowed or the corners will not remain tightly joined. Okay, let's choose the first one, the Alto Black Thin. Now, let's dive in a little to see what these controls are for. This is the frame size. Just like we saw with the matting only, the frame size starts off with the size of the cut sheet of paper. We can adjust the frame size, and when we do, it will automatically add a snow white mat by default. This looks okay, but let's go to the matting tab to see some things we can do with our mat. I can also change the mat color. How about this one? Normally, the print is secured behind the mat and visible through the matting window. But a really nice display effect is having the print position over the mat, so the matting becomes more of a background accent. This is where you can use the flow print on top of mat option if you like. This is what it looks like when you check this box. This option is primarily used with torn or deckled edge prints, but it can work for other styles as well. I just wanted to show you this, but we will stick with a more traditional approach. I don't know if you noticed this, but earlier, when we increased the frame size, this additional matting tab appeared. This allows us to overlay a second mat over the initial mat, allowing for double matting. When I first select a mat from this tab, a small sliver of the initial mat is visible, but if I want more of it to show, I can adjust the window size of this new top mat. You can try different sizes with the window opening of the top mat, but I think this choice looks best. Before we complete our frame package, there is one more thing to look at. That is glass. We don't offer actual glass because of the risk of breaking during shipping. Instead, we offer some high-quality, very popular acrylic glass options that are more durable and unlikely to break. These are manufactured specifically for the picture framing industry and won't distort your image. As you can see, there are 4 different types to choose from. Deciding which is best is up to you. The ones with reflection control will diffuse any glare, while the ones that start with conservation will help block damaging UV light. Reflection control is good for when you are hanging a print in a well-lit room, while conservation is recommended when there is the chance the print will be exposed to sunlight. A good rule of thumb is to choose one when your print is going to be a paper print, but if your print is canvas, then you likely won't want or even need one. For now, I will just choose the reflection control, which is quite popular. After careful review of all my choices, I think that completes everything I need. I can now add it to my order. We are now going to try something a bit different. Framing a stretched and mounted canvas print inside a canvas floater frame. These types of frames provide an elegant and minimalist solution to framing a canvas print. Obviously, with a stretched and mounted canvas, a lot of people choose to hang it unframed, but for the ultimate display, a canvas floater frame can make your print look incredible. For this exercise, I am choosing the Artisan Archival Canvas. Next is the thick, stretched, and mounted option in which the image wraps. Some people refer to it as a gallery wrap or museum wrap. Alternatively, I would choose the option where the sides are a solid color, but since this is just an example, I don't think anyone will mind. For size, I want to choose the 30 by 24 inch size. I can now see a 3D simulation of what this canvas will look like once it is printed, stretched, and mounted. You will see some options for an unframed canvas, but since we are framing it, we will pass those by. You will notice there are several collections to choose from with different styles. You may also notice that the matting and the glass tabs are both missing. This is because, for this type of frame, matting and glass are not possible. So, we will focus on just the frame. Let's choose the gallery floats since they are quite popular. I will now choose my frame. The preview does not always do it justice, but with canvas floater frames, there is between a 1/8 to a 1/4 inch gap between the canvas and the sides as seen here. Well, that pretty much covers our framing tutorial. If you still have some questions or need assistance, please reach out to our friendly customer service team at customercare@finerworks.com. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to FinerWorks YouTube channel, where we will be posting more helpful videos in the future. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.